Ty Mann's joining us here on the program, and Ty is he's got a special project coming out that is very interesting. He's been a part of a lot of things, and he wrote the screenplay to an upcoming movie, My Brother's Keeper. And Ty, thanks for joining us. First of all, I know things are busy in life, and we appreciate your time, but can you tell us a little bit about how the idea for the screenplay, for the screenwrite, came about to the movie My Brother's Keeper?
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, and I appreciate it, and just really thankful you guys took time to get us on your show today. So yeah, I mean, this story has kind of been around for a while because it's a little bit about my father and his return from Vietnam. Some of the things that we saw as young kids back then. So I wanted to write something about this PTSD thing that is so troubling and to our men and women in uniform and just people in general who have suffered some type of trauma. So as it would be, we're on the set of A Question of Faith, which is another movie I wrote that was in theaters in 2017. And I just met T.C. Stallings. So he and I are standing out by the craft table talking, and I just said, hey, you know something? I have this idea I've been wanting to do for a movie, and I'm looking at you in there perform. I'm looking at you standing here now. I think you'd be great at it. And he said, yeah, all right, you write it. If you do it, let me know. And maybe a month later, I sent him the first draft. And that became the genesis of the story. We tweaked it a little bit, and it ended up being, and TC ended up taking of course, the lead, and the rest is history. Here we are a few weeks away from release.
When was your dad in Vietnam? What years? My dad was over there, I think, 67, 68.
My dad was right around that same time frame. I want to say he was there from like 69, 70, or 70, 71 time frame.
Yeah, so he
was a Marine in Vietnam.
Yeah, so he was there right in the thick of it. When you talk about, I know it's a hard subject to talk about when it comes to PTSD, because a lot of people think that PTSD just affects individuals that have been in something very traumatic, like maybe war, maybe 9/11, things like that. But also PSD can affect a lot of people just through the things that they go through in life. So it can hit home to a lot of people. So even though someone might not have gone through something as maybe traumatic as a war, they can still relate to the fact and see through this movie how to kind of maybe deal with, or maybe what your experience when you wrote it, dealing with PTSD from that perspective.
No, you're absolutely right, because it's just not something that has an impact on military personnel. We have people all walks of life who are suffering through this disease. And I pray what you're saying is exactly what will happen, that maybe people will recognize signs when they watch the movie. Maybe they'll recognize a few signs themselves and go, oh, maybe I should go talk to someone here, because I recognize a few things here. And then people who see the signs in the movie, who see what this character is going through, we pray that they will be able to go, okay, yeah, I need to just get some help. I need to go talk to someone. So you're right, but this is a movie for everyone, not just for those who have been in the military.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty good to see just how the movie evolves, and there's some things in there that'll make people think. I don't want to give away too many secrets, because that's the whole point of the movie. But it also comes down to the very fact that the faith-based aspect of it, the faith, the church counselor, the support from the church is pretty integral in this. Can you share a little bit about your faith and maybe how you came to faith?
Well, that's exactly, you hit it right there. And I'll go back to tell you this story. I said earlier that my father suffered PTSD. And of course, back that time, we didn't know it was PTSD. We called it shell shock. That was the term. But my mother finally just said, okay, that's enough. We can't live this way with you anymore. And she decided to leave him. We went to our grandmother's, and a few days later, my father came there and said, hey, look, I need to do something about this. I don't want to lose my family. I don't want to lose you guys. So my grandmother suggested that they go to the church and be counseled by the pastor. And they did. And in doing that, it led to my father becoming a deacon, becoming a minister, becoming a pastor himself. So that's how I came to my belief in my faith the way I am today, because I saw just what could happen if you walk through the doors of those churches, of our churches, because that the fact that my mom and dad decided to walk through the doors of that church saved their marriage and gave us 40 more years with our father before he passed away, you see. So that watching them do that as a young 10-year-old child back then showed me just how powerful faith can be. And I've been trying to walk in it in variant degrees, of course, as I became more mature in my life, but I've been trying to walk in it ever since.
You know, it sounds like when you're writing this particular film, it hits a little close to home, or it is actually home for you because it's based on your father. How did it compare writing this film because of the personal nature of it versus maybe some of the other films that you've written?
You know, it wasn't hard. I'm not going to sit here and say it was hard, because those times were many, many years ago. You know, you're going to see. I think it sounds like you've already seen the film. So there's some things in the film, some outbursts of the film that actually happened the way we saw it as kids. So those times were many years ago, and we've come to reconcile that. We did with our father, and we put all that in our past, because again, we had some beautiful years out of, over that short period of time that he was dealing with this illness. So it wasn't so hard. I was more worried about not trying to indict anyone, not trying to indict the military, not trying to indict the church. I was trying to make sure that I wrote a story where I wasn't pointing the fingers and blaming anyone for anything. That was my biggest worry while writing the movie, is that I didn't cross any line that made it feel like I was blaming someone for having PTSD. Or I was trying to mock the disease in itself, or trying to portray it in a lighter light, because if you really can't portray it in a light light. It is what it is. It's a very dark disease. So those were my biggest worries, and I worry about a lot of that stuff when I write anything. So I don't know if it was that much of a difference, because when I'm writing, I'm really worried about, am I getting things right? Am I telling the story right?
Well, I think you came across,
yeah.
I think you did that, and you came across, being able to present the story and being able to share what it is, the message you wanted to share, and do it in a way that's, it's kind of like the roller coaster of emotion. You have the highs, the lows, the laughs, the tears. It's all in there. And in the end, I think people will be walking away from this movie with more than what they went into it. So I think you did a good job doing that. One of the things I wanted to ask you is,
thank you.
Yeah, you bet. The cast, you mentioned T.C. Stallings. He's been in a few movies, and he's, longtime football player. People might know him from his football playing days. Joey Lawrence is in it. Also, we've got, people would know, Rudy Huxtable. She's in it.
Keisha. Keisha Napoleon is in it. That's right.
Robert Richard, he's there. He's been in a lot of things. So when you put together this movie, did you have these people in mind, or did it come after the fact? Because that's a pretty good all-star cast right there for this movie. Yeah,
no, really. The only person that when I was writing this, that I had in mind was TC, because we had that conversation. But again, I tried to write stories that will attract the talent. So I try to write a story that when we send it out to people, we will get talent that will read it and go, "Ooh, I want to be in this movie." And it's just been a blessing. We sent out to Keisha Napoleon. She read the script, fell in love with it, said, "Yes, I really want to play this part." Greg Allen Williams read it. "Oh, I really want to be this, I want to play this part." Robert Jeff Lawrence. I mean, so it's just been a blessing that we're able to present them something that they read and will go, man, I want to be a part of this. And we're just happy that we were able to put together the cast that we have, because that cast did a fantastic job in the film. And, they were backed up by an incredible crew that worked really hard. And I just got to tell you, I feel every day I feel blessed, and I just appreciate them all so much, because it means so much that you would get these great talents that would say, man, I want to come perform the words you wrote on that piece of paper. And that's just a blessing. And I'm just thankful to all of them for it.
And I believe you played the prison guard in it. Was that you, the prison guard?
Keen eye, my friend. You have a keen eye.
What?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I thought that was you. What side of the camera do you like best? Do you like the being on screen? Do you see yourself maybe writing some films for you to star in, or do you like the kind of behind the scenes part of it?
Absolutely not. I'm the last person you want to see out on the screen a lot. No, that just, each time I've been in my movies, they've each come at this, hey, we need somebody type reactions. Or I was actually in A Question of Faith. If you haven't seen that movie, you'll spot me in that. And again, I was just standing there, and the director came over and said, hey, we need somebody to do this. Can you go change that shirt? Like, yeah, go ahead, just go stand over there and smile and don't say anything. And it happened again on this movie. The same director said, oh, Ty, we need you to come do this. You have to do this now so we can get this shot. So, no, I mean, I did do some acting in the movie Redeemed that we did after this one. I still alongside T.C. Starlins again and performed with him there. But I like being on the other side. I like the writing. I am trying to move into directing. I did direct the movie Redeemed. But I like being on that opposite side of the camera for sure. The talent has all the hard work, man. Those guys work hard. God bless them, but they have to work hard. And I always say I got the easy job. I get to write it and say action and cut, and that's it.
Ty Mans is with us, and maybe you'll have this kind of Stan Lee thing going. Every time he put together a movie, he'd always make some sort of cameo in it. So maybe we'll see you in these cameos as you continue to put out these films. I don't know. Now that's not a bad idea. Yeah, just put the little cameo here and there, doing something.
All right, if I do that, I'm gonna blame it on you. Okay, my man told me to do this.
Yeah, that'll be the thing. The little thing that people will come to. The little extra. It's like, okay, what's he gonna be? Where is he gonna be here? We got to keep a lookout for it.
That's a good idea. Yeah, okay, you're planting the seed here, brother.
Yeah, I think you should do that. That'd be good. You mentioned that your father, it's the movie My Brother's Keeper, based on your father and his experience in Vietnam and PTSD. Now you went on to be in the military and have a military career before your movie career. After seeing what your father had gone through, what made you decide to want to be a part of the military yourself?
I had no fear at all. By the time I got up to military age, our father had prepared us for everything. He was a great father. He was a great man. Outside of our Lord and Savior, the greatest man I've ever known. So he had prepared us, and my oldest brother went into the military first, and then I wanted to follow and be a part of that. Now I admit I never had any intentions in the beginning to stay as long as I did, but I did want to serve, and it just happened that 24 years after saying I do, I was saying I'm done. I had a great career, and I met my wife. My wife was in the military for 10 years. My oldest son, or my wife and our oldest son, is now second lieutenant in the Marine Corps. And our youngest son will be commissioned second lieutenant Army this summer. So it's just in us to serve our country, and it's kind of what we feel like we should be doing is giving our country some years of our life. And I don't know how long my sons will stay in uniform, but they're going to be, one is serving and the other one will soon be serving their country like me and granddad and mom did.
When you sit back and you look at your career and you look at now the future career of your sons going through the military, it's got to be a proud feeling to know that it's a generational thing that started with your father. I mean, that's got to be something that makes the family proud to be able to sit back and see just kind of the service that you're doing to your country and how you guys are giving back, because it's not easy, especially in a politically heightened world that we live in. It's not easy to sit back as a father, I would imagine, and be like, okay, I'm going to send my sons off to the military and watch them go. So I guess it's got to be just that proud moment that you said that you guys as a family have decided to serve the country and put the country first. And we got to, first off, thank you guys for your service, because that's just, unbelievable in the day where, narcissism reigns supreme, that you will sacrifice, your guys' self and put the country and others above you. And so we really appreciate that. But that's got to be proud for you as a father to see your kids following your footsteps and the footsteps of your father.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. I tell you, two of my proudest moments in recent years, and as a matter of fact, they both happened last year, was one, me being a retired infantry officer. I was able to swear in our oldest son. I was able to give him his oath of office when he was commissioned second lieutenant. And I can tell you, standing up on that stage, and I've re-enlisted many of soldiers in my day as a commander out there in these infantry units. But standing on that stage that day with my right hand raised, looking at my son in his eye and reading him that oath is something that I'll never forget. And then a few short months later, our youngest son decided he wanted to go to infantry basic training during his break, and watching him become an infantryman himself when he graduated and going up there being able to pin on that blue infantry cord on his shoulder was, just one of those moments that as a father just brings you to tears to see that your sons are willing to, like you say, they're willing to serve their country. They're willing to sacrifice themselves for the good and the need of the country. And they do it voluntarily, because trust me, Mom and I had no conversations about them growing up about the military. We wanted them to choose their own life, but it just happened to be that this is where they evolved to, and we're proud of both of them. They're great military officers, and we're just very proud of them.
Well, again, we can't thank you guys enough for your service and for the dedication and commitment that you put forth for our country to, keep people like myself free, allow us to have the freedoms that we enjoy today. So we thank you for that.
No, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much.
So the movie My Brother's Keeper, I believe it's coming out March 19th of this year, 2021. So for those of you in places that have theaters open, because I'm here in Los Angeles and we're closed right now, you can go and see the movie in theaters. So you have to check your local listings on that. Otherwise, it's on demand. So you can just kind of search the movie. And I believe the website is mbkfilm.com, mbkfilm.com. And so people can go there for probably for information, depending on where you're at in the country and how your state is. But I recommend it. A great movie. It was pretty powerful. Like I said, it was kind of the roller coaster of emotions. You had the laughs, the cries, the heartfelt moments, and then the twists, kind of the secrets that came out that then kind of changed the way you're experiencing the movie. And I don't want to give things away, so I'm kind of giving this general description of it, but I definitely recommend that you see this movie, My Brother's Keeper, and again, coming out March 19th of this year, 2021. Anything else you want to share about the film or the experience, or anything else that you want to just share with us?
No, look, we're thankful for everyone who we're thankful for you guys for taking the time to want to talk to us. We really do appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. And we just, we want people to go see the movie. We want you to be safe. Theaters are open, and we want you to go out and enjoy it, but we want you to be safe. Make sure you're doing all the right things, and go out and sit and enjoy the movie. I think you appreciate you hit all the right spots. I think people will enjoy this movie, and we just want you to go out and be safe and have a good time. It's a family movie. Dove gave us a wonderful rating, so it's 12 years and up. So we're just excited. Thank you guys for taking the time to talk to us about it. I do appreciate you.
Ty Manns, My Brother's Keeper is the movie, coming out March 19th. And again, the website, MBK, the letters, mbkfilm.com. And again, the movie is My Brother's Keeper. Ty, thanks so much. We appreciate it. And we look forward to more work coming from you, more movies perhaps, and maybe those extra cameos as you put out new movies.
I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to blame you. I'm going to blame this interview when people say, "Why are you doing this?" I'm going to go call this guy right here.
Yep.
Talk me into it.
I think it'll be great.
Thank you.
Ty, thanks so much.
Man, thank you again. I appreciate it, man.
You bet. Have a good one.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Take care, and we'll talk soon.
Bye.
Ty Manns, My Brother's Keeper. Great interview. Again, definitely you guys should check out the movie when it comes out on March 19th. And again, like he said, it's 12. It's rated 12 and up. So definitely a family movie that you can see. And especially if you have issues like PTSD or know people, or maybe you want to just find out more about it in a movie kind of way, kind of I don't want to say entertaining kind of way, but an entertainment form. And maybe get little tips on how you can then keep an eye out on others that might have PTSD. So thanks, Ty Manns, for joining us. We really appreciate it. And that's going to do it for the show here tonight. We'd like to thank you for listening. Again, you can follow us on Instagram at Edem Rocks, EIDEMROCKS. That's my Instagram page. You can also go to RadioWarp.com if you're listening on the apps. Got a new website coming. Every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Pacific time, Radio Warp Live. We're going live, and pretty soon we're getting to the point where we're going to be able to take your phone calls as well. So that's pretty exciting that we look forward to. So once again, thanks for listening. Do tell a friend, and until next time, God bless.